Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. And another heavyweight news and notes mashup video today, starting with Johnny Fischer. So his upcoming fight with Andrei Rudenko has been cancelled and it's due to injury. So you can see here on screen Johnny Fischer, he's had a torn right bicep. So I won't play his clip because it's got music in the background or it'll get copyrighted. But his statement on social media, he says, "Absolutely gutted to tell you that I've torn my bicep this week in the build-up to the fight. It's been a very long and hard training block due to cancelled shows, and it just wasn't meant to be this time. However, when I knew my arm wasn't right, I got it scanned straight away, and with the correct rehab, I will be back fighting soon. Romford Bull Army, you can stand down for now, but stay ready, it won't be long." And Joe Joyce, you can see here, has wished him the best, saying, "Get well soon, Johnny." So a bit of a hit for Fischer, who obviously is a big ticket seller on the come up. He's a raw fighter but developing, and this could set him back for a number of months. You want that arm to be right, so it could be 2025 before we see him back out again. I guess it depends on how he heals and how that rehabbing goes. But that show that he had been headlining at the CPP of Bosch, as he calls it, has been cancelled and is now going to be in Sheffield. Obviously, Fischer is not going to be on it. It's going to be headlined by Terry Harper and Rhiannon Dixon. Tony Yoka has continued his comeback in the United Kingdom. He's got a second round stoppage, and this was over a fighter called Lamar Griggs. So Tony Yoka, and you can go to his page and see the stoppage there in the second round. Yoka, who once had obviously fought at Roland Garros, now fighting in Swindon. So, you know, a bit of a come down for Yoka, but all in the aid of trying to rehabilitate his career. So Tony Yoka obviously looking to continue this relationship he has with promoter Black Boxer, which is Dean White's promotional company, or aka Lamar Scott. He's now 13-3, or 14-3, hasn't updated on BoxRec, but definitely has won that fight. And he says that his third fight will be in October, presumably also in the United Kingdom with the same promoter. And given the 3 losses on the bounce not so long ago, Martin Bakole started the rot, Carlos Takam, and then shockingly Riyad Murhi, obviously some low-level opposition to get him back in the swing of things. He's now being trained by Don Charles, so we'll have to see what happens with Yoka. I think the third fight, probably a slight step up from Lamar Griggs. Potentially we'll see him back in 2025 against some much tougher opposition. BoxRec currently has him number 31 in the world. Based on what he's been doing lately, I think it's hard to sort of give him that ranking, but it's based off prior opposition. And actually, Yoka's record previously wasn't so bad. I know a lot of people like to give him some stick, but decent opposition as a prospect. He's obviously, the wheels have well and truly fallen off as he stepped up. Jeamie TKV and Franklin Ignatious will clash on Saturday the 19th October, and that's going to be on the Azim Davies undercard. So this is not a bad fight. So you have Jeamie TKV, who's coming off a loss due to a cut, and Franklin Ignatius, who has been in some decent fights, but they've all been kind of hard to watch because he is a bit of a smotherer, does seem to kill the action in fights, but he is also quite effective. Against Steve Robinson, that was quite a hard watch. So it's going to be interesting to see how his brand of fighting, including the spoiling, is going to mesh with Jeamie TKV, who technically is pretty good, but obviously was getting hit quite a lot in his loss, and ultimately that cut exploded, and it was a nasty one. So it'll be interesting to see if Franklin Ignatius can target the eye where the cut was. But I like this matchmaking, especially for TKV, who's trying to make his way back, trying to get in the conversation with the likes of Solomon Dakers, Johnny Fischer, and maybe even a little bit higher. He had been calling out the likes of Fraser Clark and some others, but obviously I think he's going to need to put in a couple of good shifts to really get himself in the conversation. Mourad Aliev has advanced to 12-0 following his win over Luis Jose Marin Garcia, and this fight is up on YouTube. You can go to the Universum Boxing channel, and it's the Universum Boxing Night number 13. And this is a really sort of strange ending to this fight. It ends after the second round. You had Marin Garcia taking a legitimate low blow, trying to ham that up, trying to get the referee to give him some time to recover, or just complaining to the referee. The referee jumps in and then alerts Marin Garcia to a cut, which he wasn't aware of, which looked like it was behind the ear, but it looked actually ultimately to be a little bit higher up on the head. Ultimately, he gets dropped after they resume proceedings. He really sort of lets his hands go, but gets caught with a big right hand from Aliev, and then after that round decides he doesn't want to come out, and it seemed to be he was gesturing because of the cut, the same one he wasn't even aware of till the referee pointed it out. But Mourad Aliev, the 2021 French Olympian, he needs to have some better opposition. He's in that same stable as Jose Lardaway. Both are going nowhere fast based on the level of the matchmaking. Universum has to do better. So check out that fight at your leisure. You know, only 2 rounds of action to actually watch. Not much to take from this fight. They need to match those guys or seriously put their hand in their pocket and do something, because at the moment he's just drifting and going nowhere. Also on that card, you had Davide Brito getting a win over Ali Kaiden, formerly stopped by the likes of Hemia Hill. This ended up being a unanimous decision for Brito, the Italian heavyweight. Haven't really sort of seen much of him. Not projecting he'll go that far, but because Kaiden, I had seen him fight a few times, I thought, well, I'll just mention this result. Someone we really haven't seen in the boxing ring for some time in any meaningful fight. You know, Sergey Kuzmin, who used to feature on those World of Boxing cards with Alexander Povetkin, really found it tough in recent years. Probably a few factors at play, as you can imagine. So he's can't get for love nor money, a decent fight in the division. He's taken the gloves off and is going to be bare knuckle boxing. So he's facing DeAndre Savage, the American, and this is coming up in Moscow on the September the 20th. So if he could get back in the scene, Kuzmin, very hard, very durable, could serve a role as that gatekeeper type of guy who can give up-and-coming fighters who really are going somewhere some good, tough, solid rounds. So sad to see he's had to dip out for bare-knuckle boxing, but sometimes I guess needs must. What do you make of it all? Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe, follow me on Twitter. Boxing_squared. I'm out.